Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our December Planning Advisory Committee meeting. I appreciate your attendance, and without further ado, we'll get underway here. So, do I have any disclosure of pecuniary interest of the general nature thereof regarding any of the items this evening? None noted. Thank you. Could I have an approval of the agenda as presented, please? Councillor McHugh, Mr. Brown. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of the November the 16th, 23 meeting? And I would ask if there are any errors or omissions or questions regarding those minutes. Mover in a second. And move Mayor Harrison. Mr. Edison, any errors, omissions, or questions regarding those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Before we get underway here, I'm going to ask the Director of Planning. I see we have a new face. I think our committee maybe needs an introduction before we get into the nuts and bolts of the meeting, and you can introduce your new staff member, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. To the committee, we have John Finch with us this evening. John's within the Public Works Department. John's a project coordinator, one of two project coordinators, and it's John, along with his colleague Jed, that does all of the technical review, the engineering review on planning applications, whether it's subdivisions, site plans, all of that, and provides those technical comments back to the planning department and works with the project engineers. Is something that I think we're moving hopefully more towards having a member of that team at planning committees, particularly, maybe not this evening, but particularly when we have some more technical applications such as subdivision type applications. Committee very often gets questions around the engineering design, and we're trying to make sure we've got the right people here. So John will be here on occasions, and possibly Jed as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and welcome, John. Good to see you, and have you here for your expertise if needed. So thank you very much. Okay, without further ado, the public meetings are conducted as prescribed by Section 3413 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, as amended for one zoning bylaw amendment application affecting lands in the Sydney Ward, one zoning bylaw amendment application affecting land in the Murray Ward, and one zoning bylaw amendment housekeeping report affecting all the wards. The meeting will be conducted in the following manner for each application. First, I will identify the application being considered. Then I will ask planning staff to outline the application being considered. Then ask if there are any members of the public who have registered in advance to attend and participate in the meeting and have any questions or comments regarding the application. And if there are no public comments or questions, I will ask the committee if they have any questions or comments. Once all committee questions have been addressed, the committee will consider and vote on each application. If you wish to provide comments, please state your name and address for the record prior to addressing the committee. This committee has been delegated the responsibility to conduct public meetings as prescribed under the Planning Act. A full report of the meeting's proceedings will be submitted to City Council on Wednesday, January the 10th, 2023. Council will make the decision on each of the stated applications. Anyone other than an applicant who wishes to receive further notice of Council's decision on each application must submit a written request for notice of Council's decision to the Director of Planning and Development Services. I'll now ask the Director of Planning and Development Services, please advise the committee how the notice of these meetings were given.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Notice of the application has been considered this evening. We're given in keeping with the Planning Act, RSO 1990 as amended, by first-class mail on December 1st, 2023, and posting of signs on the subject properties on the same date. The application that relates to the housekeeping amendments on the zoning was published in the local press. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. Okay, without further ado, we'll get into the first public meeting of the evening. Is Staff Report 23-136 PD, a zoning bylaw amendment housekeeping report. The owner is City of Quinte West. Location is all wards. And Davina, would you like to address this, please, for the committee and members of the public?
Through you, Mr. Chair, this housekeeping amendment addresses changes to the 2014 approved comprehensive zoning bylaw for the city. It aims to clarify provisions, ensure conformity with provincial legislation, and correct clerical errors, emphasizing the critical importance of policy coherence within land use planning. Regular amendments are necessary to align with evolving provincial laws, regulations, policy updates, official plan amendments, and housekeeping needs, ensuring that the bylaw remains up to date. The majority of the changes are in Section 3 of the bylaw within our definitions, and 2 exception additions, one in our corridor commercial and one in our service industrial zone. Such periodic adjustments are essential to keep the zoning bylaw current in alignment with evolving provincial policy and official plan directives, and to ensure that the proposed amendment is consistent with the provincial policy statement while maintaining the intent of the city's official plan and comprehensive zoning bylaw. Upon approval, this will mark the 7th amendment to the bylaw, with a draft copy having been published, as Brian said, as a notice of application in the community newspaper on November 30th, 2023, and the city has received no comments to date.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any members of the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, committee, are there any questions or comments regarding the report? If not, I would entertain a motion, and the recommendation is to approve. Councillor McHugh moves it. Mr. Brown seconds. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Now move to staff report 7.2, 23-137 PD. That's a zoning bylaw amendment application. The owner is 1718553 Ontario Inc. and Marie Capuciti. The agent is Spencer Hutchison. The location is 564 and 578A Old Highway 2. The file number is D09/S30/23. Katie, would you like to address this application, please?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the purpose of this application is to amend the City of Quinte West zoning bylaw to permit the development of 16 condominium townhouse units, which are to be serviced by municipal water and a communal sewage system. At present, the subject properties are both developed with single detached dwellings and are zoned rural residential. This application proposes to rezone the subject properties to the rural residential type 3 exception 26 zone. This exception zone would include a special provision to recognize that the proposed townhouse units would be serviced by municipal water and a communal sewage system. All other provisions of the standard R3 zone would apply. The official plan amendment application that was presented to the committee at last month's meeting was the first step in developing the subject properties, as it ensured the policy framework was in place to allow for the proposed development to proceed to the next steps. Should this zoning bylaw amendment application be approved tonight, the next step is site plan control, where more technical details pertaining to the development will be reviewed. The approval of this application would result in an opportunity for residential intensification in South Sydney and would provide additional housing options for the city. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to the intent of the city's official plan. This application represents good planning and is recommended for approval.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have anyone in attendance other than the applicant who wishes to speak in favor of this application? Anyone in opposition or have general questions regarding this application? Please come forward if you have any general questions or concerns. Okay. Could you come up to the podium and please and state your name, because we're on TV here and it's recorded. So
Hedda 554 Old Highway 2. This is just a general question for neighbors. As the zoning law will change from rural to municipal waters, will the neighbors be affected as well?
Okay. Brian or Katie, do you want to address that?
To Mr. Chair, no, there'll be no impact on the neighbouring properties. The zoning change only relates to the properties that are subject to the application.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I know Spencer's here on virtual and he's got his hand up. So would you like to make a statement or address the concern here? Any concerns, Spencer?
Yeah. Hopefully you can hear me, Chairman Allier. I apologize, this time of the year I'm out of town tonight and using technology. I thank Ms. Whitehead for her report and recommendation. We are in 100% agreement with it. This is a continuation of the November meeting when we went through this application and the official plan. This is the zoning tonight. Everything that was presented and the questions that were asked and answered are still the same. And it's the same project that we presented last month, and we look forward to hopefully the committee approving this as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a Diana Fazaria. Would you like to speak to this application? No? You're muted, but... No, okay. If you do, I can come in later, I guess, or a few minutes later. Is there anyone else in attendance who wishes to address or have any questions for this application? Okay. Hearing none, committee, I would entertain any questions from you and a motion, and the recommendation is to approve. Councillor O'Neill?
I'll second it.
Mayor Harrison seconds it. Any further questions or comments regarding this application? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, our next application is 7.3, Staff Report 23-138 PD, a zoning bylaw amendment application. The owner is Chris and Krista Brown. The location is 137 Macaulay Road. The file number is D09/M35/23. Dale, would you like to address this application, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the Chair, the purpose of the zoning amendment application is to fulfill a condition of technical consent application B31-23M, which was for the purpose of a lot addition. The technical consent application was approved by the Committee of Adjustment on July 13th of 2023. The amendment would rezone the benefiting severed lands from the rural residential and rural zone to the rural residential exception 79 zone. The rural residential exception 79 zone would recognize a reduced lot frontage of 39.1 meters rather than the required 45 meters of lot frontage required in the rural residential zone. The amendment would also rezone the retained lands from the rural zone to the rural exception 56 zone, and the rural exception 56 zone will allow for the retained lands to continue their existing use with an existing 8 meter by 10 meter shed prior to a principal use being established. This application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to the City of Quinte West official plan. The application is therefore recommended for approval.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have anyone in attendance who wishes to speak in favor of this application? Anyone in opposition or have general questions regarding this application? Please come forward if you so wish. Okay. Seeing none, committee, I would ask that you consider the recommendation as to approve, and I would entertain a motion and any questions you might have. Okay. Mr. Councillor Card and Mr. Edison seconds it. Questions or comments?
No, I was through there today. It's quite a house being built. Quite a house. Wow. Especially all around the one that was there. Yeah. It's you know, you're doing are you doing the work yourself? You don't have to answer that, but whoever's doing is doing a great job. Must be your wife, is it? That's doing all that vertical work and the high. Anyways, it's a fantastic project. Congratulations.
Ms. Simmons, please.
I just had a question. I wasn't here in July when it was first introduced. Is the addition to the east of it, or where was the lot addition?
I think on the map it shows you there, but I'll let staff verify it, please.
Through the Chair, the lot addition is to the east.
Okay, any further questions from the committee? Okay, it's been regularly moved and seconded. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Your comments regarding the applications and staff reports have been recorded and will be forwarded to the members of council together with the minutes of this meeting. Council will make a decision to approve or refuse the stated applications at the regularly scheduled council meeting of Wednesday, January the 10th, 2023. We are now into public input. Does anyone wish to come forward and address any concerns of the evening of either what was presented or some other concerns you might have? Oh, wow, nobody's jumping up tonight. It's nice and easy to deal with, so thank you anyway. All right, well, without further ado, we'll move on down. Presentations, we have none. Delegations, we have none. Decision items, none. And then we move into item 12, printed information, and 12.1, the monthly planning reports, A, B, and A and B, zoning bylaw amendment, official plan amendment, application tracking, and the building department reports. Monthly from November, and then yearly from January to the end of November 23. And at the end of that, we have 12.3, I guess, the committee schedule. I guess we could approve that all under one motion, I guess, if that's all right. Any questions regarding any of those items? Gerard moves it. And seconded. Ms. Simmons. And any questions or comments before I call a vote on any of them? And like I said, the committee schedule is there too for your perusal and to mark in your calendars. Councillor Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the Director of Planning. For the zoning bylaw amendments, it's great. Look, you're only doing it at 85% of the benchmark required. But I have a question on the former Byway building by the beer store. Has there been building permits issued for that, or what's going on there? I've had quite a few questions about that.
Yeah, through Mr. Chair, no building permits issued. There's been a number of proposals over the last couple of years that have kind of come and gone for both reconstruction and just for the reuse of the building. But we haven't made any planning application approvals at this point, and no building permits at this point either.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Just further to that, I've had a few questions as well. They're doing roof work is what they're doing. Roof repairs, maybe, I don't know what else. But the question that it keeps coming up is, we had an evaluation done of that facility. Remember that? No? Okay, anyways, the evaluator of that particular facility was concerned with the condition of the steel. And the steel, where it enters into the ground, is I guess you'd say, what I'm told, I don't know, told that it's deteriorated and that it should certainly be absolutely repaired. So I would suggest that whether we're there or not, somebody make sure that we are doing our own due diligence on that facility, so that if building permits are required, that we do whatever is necessary. Thank you. And I know you will, but just that's all my concern. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, through Mr. Chair, we certainly haven't got to the point, I don't think, with any of the proposals that we've required or requested in evaluation, so that may have been something that the current owner or a potential owner might have done. But definitely, if there's building permits come in, we'll review them in relation to what the work is proposed. But you know, we also have some limitations on how we can step in if there's an existing situation on a private building. We respond to the building permits, but we'll certainly review it if and when we get building permits.
Okay, no other questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, we have item 13, non-printed information, none. I guess we're at requests for information. I'll start with Gerard. Anything tonight? Okay, Councillor Carr. Okay, Councillor McHugh.
No, I'd just like to wish everybody here a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if we can get that gavel down within the next minute and a half, we can set a new record, be home in 20 minutes. Thank you. That'd be a Christmas gift for us all.
Well, I promised I'd try and get you out of here before midnight. I told the director that this afternoon, and so, anyway. Ms. Simmons, I'll start with you and come this way. Okay, thank you. JD? Mr. O'Neill?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. It's a pleasure working with everybody here, including our staff and Director, what's his name? Jardine, is it?
Something like
that's
that,
the guy. He keeps us on track, and he keeps things moving, and you help him as well. So over the years, we've had some, what you'd say, discussions about things, but we never had any legal issues. We've covered our tracks and made sure that things are done properly. So I thank all the people who work with them and are moving forward with various projects. It's great in the city to see things happening and moving forward. So thank you very much, and have a good Christmas. Don't weigh yourself until after Christmas, and we'll be okay. Thank you.
I'll just add, I want to thank all the staff and the committee here for this past year's work. And, you know, we try to keep this city progressing and moving along, and I think we do. We get the odd complaint, I guess, that things don't happen yesterday, but I think when I hear comments from other municipalities, we do a pretty good job. So I think you deserve a pat on the back and a thank you. And we all, all work as a teamwork, and look forward to a progressive 24, and hopefully we can keep things progressing and the developments moving along, and housing and whatever else that might come before us. So I would also like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a happy and healthy and prosperous New Year also. And thank you very much again. Okay, we have any notices of motion? None noted. Next meeting will be Thursday, January the 18th at 6 p.m. According to my information here. So we'll look forward to seeing you then. And now comes the hard part, the adjournment. Gerard moves it, seconded. Ms. Simmons. Any debate or comment about that? If not, adjourned. Thank you.